Hi, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here for Block Wednesday. We are on block, what is it, 16. So we are on the last one for the 4th row, and that means only 2 more rows. So we were going to have so much fun finishing this up. The topics have been so amazing. I do want to follow up with the salt and pepper shakers in our live chat. We were talking about, several of you had like these little dishes. Here, let me put a picture up. So one of you had these little dishes, like little teeny weeny bowls that salt would come in, and then another of you had the picture of the canister you said the salt, that you use for salt. Both of those apparently are called salt cellars. I had only heard the tub, the bigger jars being called that, but apparently the little tiny bowls are also called the same thing. So there we go, we learned something new. Also, to follow up, the bunny pattern is from Jan Patak, and she does have it as a single pattern. As far as I could tell, it is just a print, so you have to print it. And I will link you in the description box below in the pinned post, so that if you wanted the bunny pattern by Jan Patak. I believe the first one was the one I did was in one of her self-published books. I have most of her books from way back in the day when she did self-published books. So I think that's where I got it. That's where I made mine from. But my friend Lylene texted me like while the live chat was on, because she found it. Because she wants to make it. So there you go. There you go. That's where you can get it right from the designer. We have today small change. There's the block, small change. This is the little money in your grandparents' pocket, your grandma's pocket, your grandpa's pocket, or in a little change bag in their purse, where they would give you a little bit of change to go to the store and buy some candy. I think lots of us have memories of that. For me, it was my pop-up. My mom's dad, Pop-Pop, always had change in his pockets. He had a bit of a tremor, and so his change, he kept his hand in his pocket a lot, and the change would jingle. So it's kind of a fond, I think it's a sound that reminds me of my grandfather. And he was the one that would give us some change to go to the corner store. There was a corner store that my mom Greg's family went to as kids as well, because they lived on the same street as my mom. And so it was called Squires. It's not there anymore. But it was a family-run corner store with a soda fountain and a counter to order sandwiches. And I tell you a little bit here about my mom's memory on that. Now, I do have 2 layouts. One would be scrappy. Here, let me get the page. Let me get the page here. Hold on. When I wrote this originally, it was done as individual squares. And that's how I did it. Now, you can, and I'm going to do it this time, I added a page in here called page 3, and I just called it page 3B because I did not want to renumber all the pages. And there will be some of you that look at page numbers on every single pattern, and you write me if you see anything. So I made 3B. I'm telling you here why. But I went ahead and used some bigger pieces because you'll see from the fabrics that I'm going to use that I would like to see more of the chunks of them. So, okay, so there you have 2 options. So if you're making your scrappy, you can do them all in 2.5-inch squares and 2.5-inch half square triangles. Otherwise, you can do sew and flips, rectangles, squares, that kind of a thing. Now let's take a look. I actually was early this morning. I came downstairs and I got a cup of coffee, and I was like, I want to pull the fabric for this now. I don't want to wait because my brain was kind of thinking about it. So let's take a look. I want to get that yellow back in here. So I think what I'll have is this back one as yellow, and then this silver, because it's coins, I think I can do this and fussy cut, since I'm going to make one big square for this. Fussy cut that. And then the other, which is tucked under a little bit. So I don't want the yellow to be like real bold, so I'll make it as the back one because there's less of it showing. And also using it where it has that green in it, so that it's not the other yellow, which has no other color to break it up. Okay, and then I'll use a teal. So I think that is a good a good combination for those guys. Now, the stars, there's 2 friendship stars that go next to it on the layout. See here, and remember this is one of the smaller blocks. So here's the friendship star and stars, there's 2 of them. And on the main quilt, the one set of 2 is aqua with the yellow center, and one set of 2 is purple with the middle center, yellow center. So let's just take a look. So I got the yellow center out. I'm going to do yellow center again. And I started thinking reds, do 2 red stars. And on each of these, I've kind of used 2 different, used a different fabric for each star. But then I thought, I really need to pull that orange back down here again, this orange. So I thought, oh, that's perfect. This is literally the only orange. The other shades are the peachy shades, and I don't want the peachy shades. So I had pulled this for one of the blocks from my stash, but I've also used it just kind of diagonal on one of the block, just diagonal, the row above. So okay, well, let's get out here. I've got it over here. Let's get out my orange fabric and find something else that is similar. A lot of mine are kind of not this shade. They're more lean towards cinnamon color, and I don't want that. This big, oh, here. Here's some dots. These dots are, I've got several dots. Isn't that great? I've got several dots. I think these are they're more the right shade. So let's look at that. Okay. So here is from the line. And this one is a little bit more muted, which is what a lot of my oranges are. But these 2, one of these 2, either the small one or the slightly larger. I think I'm going to go with this slightly larger. Okay, that's perfect. I will now keep this in the bin because I may want to add, there's 2 more rows after this. So I may want to add something else, a little bit of orange. So we've got these 2 rows to do. I may want to add a little orange into some of these other blocks just to pull it maybe in the last block. Something in the last block I can add a little bit of orange in there. Okay. All right, so that turned out good. I've got these all now that I can cut. And then here is the bonus layout I did for you. This is a bit smaller block. This is the 10-inch block. So I paired it with one of the 12-inch from Grandma's Kitchen. And so I thought that would be super cute. If you're going to do like a baby quilt, it's 42 by 42. I just think that would be super cute as a little baby quilt, or a wall hanging or table topper. Centering a 6.5-inch square on this fabric is the easiest thing ever. Your ruler has the middle mark right here. See that? See the white crosshairs and the dot? So I want the white crosshairs and the dot to go in the center of one of these medallions. So like right here, my center of that medallion is right there. And all I have to do is go around the block. So easy. I want to show you how this is laid out before I do the sewing. I put all the corners for the sew and flips. So that is this piece. Over here, this yellow coin, this is the side, this will be the background. This will be matching to the lower coin up here like that. These 2 will be matching like here, right? So you get that image. And then over here I have to do 1/2 square triangle. I only use one of the pieces, and that makes the outer edge of the yellow. This is so much fun. I really am enjoying, this is the second round of Grandma's Kitchen, because we did the previous one like 7-8 years ago. And I'm really enjoying the stories again and rethinking about my grandparents who have been gone a long time. So there you go. There's the coins. The yellow one does blend back a little bit, but I'm okay with that. I just wanted a gold coin. I don't know why. I just thought that would be fun. And then there are the orange friendship stars that go. Now there is a bunch of setting stuff, and I'm not going to do that today, but I'm going to put these up with everything else, and we can take the other camera and take a look. That worked out fantastic. Bringing the orange down and bringing the yellow now. So I've got yellow, 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 and I probably will save and just put yellow in the last row. Oh, looking so fun. So I don't know what I'm going to do here on this. There's, I think, some checkerboard here. There's strips here. There's a strip under there. So I will work on that. I will get that up there. Probably tackle it Tuesday. See it Tuesday next week. We have a few other things. One, I am wearing my t-shirt, the sort of the spring one. Yay! In long sleeves, because it has been here in April, the early April, still below freezing at night. Yeah, so there's no tulips. I mean, well, there are tulips, but I'm not planting anything like annuals. And it also comes in, we have notebook. I think there's a few other things, like I think the coffee mug. And this would be great. Wouldn't it be great for your Mother's Day? Yeah, I might have to send this to my mom for Mother's Day. So cute. Also, I had some sweet mail. This one is from Terry in South Carolina. Look at how cute that is. The little state with the beautiful flowers. And then she was out in her travels and found this for me, the tiny little mushrooms. That's so adorable. It's so adorable. Thank you for thinking of me when you were out and about. And then we have from Wanda in Oklahoma. Sent me a super sweet note, and she found salt and pepper shakers in mushrooms. Look at the polka dots. Polka dots, polka dots, polka dots. And some super cute earrings. I love them. Plus, she sent me some artwork. Greg and I some artwork. She said she's getting back, I think she said back into watercolors. And so she did a watercolor for us of a train. Oh, this is so gorgeous. Thank you. Mwah, mwah. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay. So before we get to the parade, I had been wanting to put up my green blocks so that I can reboot the 100 blocks. We have a few months so I can get working on it, but I want to get back into it now that the march is over for a few weeks now. But I have yet to put mine up on the wall, what I've already made, so I'm going to take Grandma's Kitchen down and put it up. Here are my blocks so far. I don't have that many, but I'm super happy with each and every one of them. So I'll take you a little closer in case, like you're either new or absolutely forgot that I was even doing this, which wouldn't be hard considering it's been like, I don't know, probably a month and a half, maybe 2 months since I've worked on them. So there we go, all kind of specialty green fabrics, as much green, then with a little lights with green in them, and then some pops of yellow. And I probably will not set these until I have a bunch, because I don't want to have to fuss with color. I'd rather just make what I want to make and then rearrange them afterwards. I think that would be better. Okay, so this quilt, if you make it per the book, this version will be 66 by 89 with 70 blocks. And I don't want that many blocks. Let me just flip the page here. I want to do less blocks because I want a little bit smaller size. So right now I am looking at removing the bottom 2 rows, so that's 18 less blocks. Then it'll be shorter. I don't need it that long. I don't need it twin size long. So that will be good. Then I will just I can make it that wide. Width is fine. So here it is in the gray tones that this one was done in. Okay, let's take a look at my bin for a second, because it's fabric. That is just so cool to see them up there together, because I really have not even put them on the wall. This is the book that we're working from, and so many of you have purchased this book over the years but never really done the blocks. And so now it's a kickstart. For me, I'll have to figure out how many more blocks I have to do minus those last 2 bottom rows. And then I'll make a plan for myself of how many I want to accomplish each week, and I will do them by week or maybe just by month. Maybe I'll group them up a little bit tighter, do a bunch at once. I'll see, because I definitely do not need a quilt that long, because I'm going to do this as a wall hanging. Okay, my bin, I did grab some other things that I found. This is like a little Heather Ross of these little sandpipers, I think they look, and I found like a white frog and some shamrocks. This is, I don't know when I found these, but I put them all in the top here. So some of them may have been in the bin already. I've used this one many times in different projects, and there's still some of it, so it's going to go in here. And this has some other colors, but it's got yellow and green. So if I kind of fussy cut somewhere around it, I can maybe put some in. The yellow, I'm sure I showed you this one, the yellow cat. And then this is one of my earlier fabric lines called Eat Your Fruits and Veggies. And so that's got to go in there. Plus all my other gorgeous greens and some pools of yellow down, pulled out some yellows down here. Because I don't want a lot of yellow, just a little bit. And I have, I'm trying to use like white base that has some green on it like this. But then I also have my fabric that I can use. So if I can't and I need some white, just put some pure, it's a white with the little lines in it like veins. Okay, it is so exciting. It is so exciting because I love playing with all these fun fabrics that I've collected, and this is the type of project that lets me just pull some fun things. There's enough space for the images to show. So cool. Let's look at the parade of blocks from last week's Grandma's Kitchen. Let's go. Anne starts us off with our game show and soap opera memories. Look at the beautiful background she used in her block. I think that's so pretty. I love those little tiny prints. They're very effective for backgrounds if you've never tried it. Billy's is so cool with how she used the yellow in the placements around the four sides. It gives a secondary pinwheel. Several of you colored your blocks like this, so that is very cool to see. Great fun to kind of mix it up a little bit. Blanche has a gorgeous family portrait. She's using looks like lavender, the light lavender, then like a dark purple, and it's a limited number of fabrics. So for those of you looking at how that would come out, Blanche is doing it. You can see how it looks. Charlene's is also got a family portrait. She said that she changed up a couple of the blocks just a little bit. She's got some of the same fabrics I'm using. I can see the fussy cutting. She also has this gorgeous aqua that's in her background for a lot of the blocks. Really, really pretty. Okay, Cindy said that she had lots of fun game shows from her childhood. So that's what she was remembering. She had a whole list of them. It was really fun to read through. And look at the peas in the pod. That's super cute. Super cute, super cute. Daphne said that her stepmom was the one that loved the soap operas. And so she has fond memories of that. And here's her family portrait, all her blocks together. And she uses a lot of sort of a light green in her blocks. It's just so pretty. And she also did some things that were more personal, like the little house block there. Diana, her mom loves The Price is Right. That's the game show of the day over there at Diana's place. Your block is gorgeous. Loving that. I think that's the fabric, at least that background fabric, is what I used in the chicken salad quilt, the chickenless chicken salad quilt. For those of you who played along on that one. Etna gave us a block here with a soft pink. Oh, look at that soft pink. And then the stripe. Look in the middle here and the stripe. So cool. Really, really love it. This is Janice. Bright pink background, which is so pretty. That pink and that sort of limey green. Really, really nice. Jean's block here is so gorgeous in that green and blue. She said that she watched game shows and soap operas with her grandpa and her aunt. So how fun is that? Great memories. Karen's with the stripe. Look at the stripe on the outside. Oh my goodness. And you were in match mode. Look how perfect the chevron is that she created. She said her mom liked to watch or does watch The Truth or Consequences. So that's the game show at her place. Here's Karen's block with the gorgeous orange and green. Oh, that is so pretty. Looking so, so good. Kathy's block. Oh, I love the pinks. I think Kathy said that she doesn't usually use a print for a background in the block, and so she was doing that for this one, which took her a little bit out of her regular mode. Lynetta's. Oh, how pretty is this? You can see her little notes up at the top on the paper where she wanted to put the colors, and then her whole family portrait. This is looking so great. Oh, I love the checkerboard in the third row that has all the colors. Oh, that looks so good. So, so good. Loretta said her mom likes Jeopardy. Woohoo! Jeopardy is a favorite of a lot of people. This is so cool. Love your block. Okay, the next one here with is Michelle's. And the newsprint, you know, I love text print. Text print just gets me every time. And she put that in because she used to watch the horse racing and the wrestling. I think there was another reason why she used text prints, but I couldn't make that many notes. Thank you for sharing. Nancy's is in Christmas fabrics. So festive. And look at that. That's pieced, I think. She did a red and then the snowflake and the little gingerbreads around the center, you know, to do kind of a square and a square with two different fabrics. Well, there's actually three because there's the four corners have two different fabrics. Very, very cool. And she used to watch with her grandma, Jackie Gleason and Lawrence Welk. Such classics. Pamela's gorgeous block that looks like berries, some sort of berries or grapes or something fabric. Very, very fun. It's so fun to use fabrics like that. They look fantastic. And we just have a couple more here. We're going to go pretty in pink with Peggy's. This is, oh, look at that. So, so gorgeous. On screen, that white comes towards me because the pinks that are on the outer edge are a little bit different than the background, but very similar. So you do get a strong visual of the white coming forward. That is really cool. And my friend Suzanne's block, which has got the gorgeous turquoise, no, it's no navy, I'm sorry, gorgeous navy. And I like the background. So pretty. And then we'll wrap it up with my block for my granny. And many of you said, oh, my grandma works, she didn't watch television. My grandma worked too, and she did watch television. So I think that maybe your grandma might have watched television, but maybe when you weren't there. Who knows? I watched when I was a little bit older with my grandma, so I do remember it. But yeah, fun memories. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. As always, each Block Wednesday that you are doing, you just knock them out of the park. It is so fun to see them all together. Here we go, my friend. We're doing a little bit of change, right? A little bit of change that you have, that your grandma or your grandpa gave you to go buy some candy. What did I call it? Small change? I think that's what I called it. Find the first page. Here we go. Small change. Then I can't remember all the names. I'm sorry. I have to look. Here's mine plus the stars. So if you are, it's back in like, I think block 7, I think is what it is on the layout. Yes, I just glanced over there. It's block 7. You get the pattern for the friendship stars. All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.